welcome to RAD Garage. For those who don't know, my name is Rick. For those of you who do, good to see you again. Today's video is very different, a little departure from the ordinary here at RAD Garage, but I hope you'll stick around because I think it's going to be pretty interesting. This is my double garage here in Canada, where I dedicate a lot of time, energy, and passion to detailing my own car and cars belonging to friends. I like to capture the detailing projects on film, and I've developed a pretty unique cinematic style, if I do say so myself. And that has garnered me 37,200 subscribers here on YouTube. Now, with a YouTube channel comes attention from companies. And most of that attention comes from products, product lines, and companies associated with the detailing industry, which is a perfect fit. So you might be saying, what is this hobbyist detailer in Canada doing with an e-scooter in a box in front of him? Well, I got an email from the team at HIBOY a few weeks ago asking if I would be interested in reviewing this X300 e-scooter. And I didn't really think too much about it until a few days later when my son actually brought up in conversation his desire for an e-scooter. All right, let's jump forward now and do an unboxing. I'll just grab a knife, I'll reposition the camera, and you can see how this X300 from HIBOY comes in the box. Oh wow, it comes pretty much assembled here. Let me just bring the camera in. As I said in the intro, the real impetus behind me taking on this video was for my son, but now that I'm getting a look at this, I'm thinking it might be for me. All right, so here we've got some accessories, obviously something to do with the charging of the battery, and keys. And some, it looks like some adjustment tools, probably help in the installation process. I'm just going to set those aside. All right, I think I'm just going to lift her right out. Let's see what we got. Best place to... Let's get this box out of the way. So it looks like I just have a couple little ties to clip off. One here. And one over here. All right, well, setup looks like it's going to be pretty straightforward. I've got 6 bolts and this handy tightener. All right, well, we want that facing the other way. Okay. This just feeds right into here. This goes down in there real easy. Bring the camera in a little closer. All right, all 4 screws are now in this main steering column. The bottom one needed a little persuasion, so I used my own tool instead of this tool they sent along. But the handlebars now are nice and solid. Here is the AC/DC charger. AC/DC! For those about to scoot. I'm going to open up the battery container, and I think this slides up somehow. Oh yeah, I see. You just kind of pull it up. Oh, you could take the battery all the way out. Huh. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to take the battery out and take it over to my bench. Let's let this battery charge up until this LED indicator reads green. All right, now that the X300 is fully assembled and the battery is charging, I thought I would take a little bit of time here to ceramic coat it. As I went around every square centimeter of this new scooter, I can tell you that there is a lot of thought put into the design. I can see why it gets such great reviews. The ceramic coating, I've done 2 coats. I waited an hour in between. I'm ready to call it a night. We'll let this dry for about 24 hours. And then I'll get my son to get his helmet and we'll head off onto a nice treed path and we'll see what kind of performance he can get out of this X300. All right, stick around.
Oh, it's really smooth. It can handle really good, and it goes pretty fast. Well, I like the signal light. I think that's pretty cool. And it brakes pretty good. There's like no squeaking.
what an awesome user experience. I have had this scooter for probably close to a month now, and it has been a real pleasure, and it's been something that I've enjoyed a lot, and I know my son has enjoyed it a lot. And the user experience is made great by the fact that it's built for adults. And I'm not a small guy, but the wide deck, the sturdy wheels, just the sturdy overall construction of this scooter makes it just a pleasure to ride. It's actually quite easy. I was a little bit nervous about using a scooter, but I have taken to it like a duck to water. My wife has been asking, she's not exactly the most coordinated when it comes to these kind of things, and I have no doubt she'll get the hang of it, and the whole family will get a lot of enjoyment out of it. As a detailer, hobbyist detailer, I spend a lot of time with quality machinery, and this ranks right up there. I can't find any place where the team at HIBOY cheaped out and cut corners. This thing is robust, it is well engineered, the materials, the componentry, everything from what I can see is top notch and quite impressive. I'm actually very impressed with the welds. If you're familiar with the term stacking dimes, you can see some really quality welds in very important parts of this machine. Something else that impressed me was just the number of features. Like, this scooter has as many options, probably more than my first car when I was young. You've got, the only thing it doesn't have is a horn, but when you get the phone mounted there, you can set your cruise, you don't even need to touch the throttle, you've got signal lights, you've got a front light, a brake light, just the disc brakes. Like, honestly, this thing is fully loaded. This thing has better tires than my 1982 Plymouth Horizon, my first car. Something else I really appreciated was the portability. You know, when I'm doing a big project in this garage, I can't have this scooter sitting around, but if you just collapse it, grab it, you could put it in your foyer, you could put it anywhere. You can store it in the back of your car. The other day I almost did this, but the weather kind of ruined my plan. I was going to deliver a car to someone that I had just detailed, and I was going to put the scooter in the back and then scoot home. But I didn't really want to do it in the weather, but it's got so much portability, and on top of that, versatility. I think this is the coolest looking scooter. You know, it's got this sort of military grade finish to the metal. The components are all shiny, and it's just a really well thought out plan, and it's very well executed. Something else I've been really appreciating is what you can do with the app. At first, I wasn't sure what you do when you show up somewhere, but you can lock this using the app, and it'll display P on the little LED dashboard. And like I said earlier, you can set your speed, you can do a lot of things with the app, and I am continuing to learn all of the capabilities of the app that comes with the HIBOY X300. So I'm on websites a lot, checking things out. I really appreciate the HIBOY website. I think they've got a US and a Canada website, but the one I've been looking at is the Canada website. It's very comprehensive, very well designed. All the information you need is there. And as I come to the end of my review, which is a glowing review, I really recommend, if you're in the market for an e-scooter, you at least take a look at the HIBOY X300. But my gut tells me it's the best one you're going to get. And there are a lot of ways you can save money in ordering one. I've seen a lot of ads popping up on my Instagram now that I've got, you know, this association with HIBOY. I think I saw something like you could save $600. But if you do want to give it a shot, I'll put a little discount code right here, and that'll save you 5%, and I'll put the link below. For those of you who are my regular RAD viewers, I just want to say thanks for indulging me and coming along on this unique and new experience. And for those of you who've never been to my channel, if you do like car detailing taken to the next level, make sure you click on the subscribe button. And until the next possible review or the next detailing project, stay rad.